Welcome race fans. The championship battle of the OKCup, Season 1, Round 3, Hampton Downs, 28th of October 2023. Couple of shots of the car on the drive. I do this myself. There's no garage. There's no deep pockets. Mr. Mark Mallard showing how excited he is to be on track with the OKCup team again. Very reminiscent of the one-way all those years ago. Okay, we're going to concentrate on the Anglo Engineering class in the OKCup. This is the qualifying session that I'm showing you here. Not much happened, kind of went out, it was early morning. Beautiful day in Hampton Downs. Showing you the results on the screen there. Mike Forrest actually got a corker of a lap, squeezed a corker of a lap in there. So the position rankings are because we are a class within a bigger race. But we're the only class that matters. We're the slow group. So this is how it all ended up. You can see at the top there, best lap was a 1:20.5 from Rodin Wooten. Flying. James Whitlock squeezed in second with a 20.9. Where did I come down in there? 13th with a 23.5. You can see over that side. Oops-a-daisy, that was probably the most exciting thing to happen in qualifying. So let's get into it. So first thing to admit, I couldn't see the lights and the forward-facing camera wasn't working. So this is going to be a race from behind. You can see the diversity of cars in 2KCup. We got all sorts going on. Honda is obviously a little loved motor with its VTS, and they're in the class above us. We've got the Peugeot 106, Mazda MX5, got a Mitsi FTO. There's a few that are real shake-up of cars. Great championship. It's like the Everyman Touring Car Championship. Well, that's how I like to tell myself anyway. So all the cars, they might look like race cars, and they might even look like race cars on the inside. And we'll come back to that in the Citroen, because that's Citroen flies. They might look like race cars on the inside. Mechanically, these cars are as they came out of the box. We're allowed to change brake pads for a racing type brake pad that can handle some extra heat. We can change brake lines to braided, but we can't. We can change suspension springs, but we can't change dampers. We can't do any silly suspension alignment changes unless your car has come with it. So the MX5 does. That Citroen is so quick in a straight line. It just goes like a rocket. I guess it's it's made of tin foil. It reminds me of my 205 GTI from years gone by. Right, so we're into it. This is the first flying lap we're on now. We've got Mike Forrest in the yellow Mazda MX5 behind me. My car's a Mazda MX5 NBRS. It's the NB1. Donk. Little love tap there from Mike. Get back in your box, thank you, Mike. And yeah, so I'm running a 1.8 litre engine, non-variable valve timing, with a 6-speed gearbox and LSD, and I'm still running the catalytic converter on the standard exhaust pipe. Many of these cars aren't because they've not rusted full. I'm just lucky, I guess. But we are flat tack. OKCup is the Phoenix series from the 2KCup. 2KCup ran in New Zealand for about 10 years. It was 10 years, 10 seasons, and was the most, at one point, was the most popular race series out there because of this format of standard cars, standard OEM spec cars that have been, you know, kind of maybe emptied a little bit to look a bit more and feel a bit more like a race car. But also we do 33-minute races. We do two 33-minute races per event, unless it's the final event, which is a combined hour-long endurance race. So 33 minutes just provides so much seat time. And and you get to learn so much in that 33 minutes. And it's a real bugger that the forward-facing camera failed on this one, because myself and that little red Citroen Saxo VTS are absolutely stuck together. I had a fantastic race with Hugh Paris. It was good. We did touch and rub a couple of times, or I should say, as I was behind, I guess I touched and rubbed him a couple of times. Which isn't what we want in the OKCup, definitely not. But racing's racing. Sometimes that's what happens. And close racing is close racing indeed. So, apologies now for the tardy tint on the glass you can see here. It's actually perspex, and it's stretched around. So I laid the tint on when it was flat, and then stretched it around the shape of the window, and of course the creases became apparent. That turn one is such a fantastic corner, with that little extra bit of rumble on the exit, just to give you enough to take it flat. Now the MX5, I've got to take my hat off to Michael through here. The MX5 through here, they just love this turn 2-3 combo. They're pretty quick, and we'll see that as we go on. So I've gone up the inside of Hugh here, but it didn't come off. But Michael's had a sniff again in a place. Mike's car's 1.6 and 5-speed. There's a whole story behind that one. You can follow those guys on Minions, I think their team name is. No, it is. Just hasn't quite got the legs in the mid-range. Not saying it's 1.8, but he sure does give it some hustle. Looks like I've got a few repairs to do to that back window. Looks like it's coming away. Have to get onto that before the next event at the end of November. Up the inside, there's the Saxo. So you can tell how close we are. Go on, oh, buddy. Shut the door. Right. So we've gone defensive into the hairpin in front of the Citroen. I just know he's so fast out of the corner. It looks like we might have the legs on him down the straight. You watch the second half of this straight and just wobbles it up. Now I was going to zip through this video and show you all the fun and exciting parts, but because it's rear facing camera, I think I'm just going to let it play the whole lot, because these other guys might like to see the footage. So Hugh, Michael, anyone else that pops into frame, enjoy it. I might just sit back and let it happen. See how Michael tried the flip-flop on up the inside there, the switchback. Didn't quite pull it off. Oh, you can see that's a BMW 3 Series, sponsored by Futura Trailers, and he is coming at a rate of knots. So it's a BMW 328. They're in the top class, I think, the series. Hughes having to hold him off. He hasn't got it done. Okay. Bit of an opportunity for Michael. Can he get in there? Saxo's just got too much grunt out of that slower corner. Here comes the BM. They are so quick compared to everything else out there. The only thing that rivals them is a particularly well-driven Integra. Yeah, is it the DC2? I'm not too good on the Hondas, I'm afraid. But yeah, they're about the only things that can keep up with those BMWs. So I'm having a crack at doing this a little bit differently this time around. I've put the videos up before of the race. I haven't had two cameras before. I haven't got two cameras now, but there are two cameras in the car. We'll get the next one going for the next race. It just ran out of battery, that was it, just a numpty mistake. New to GoPros and all that. Yeah, I thought I'd try and tell the story of the day instead of just sticking up my in-car footage. It seemed like an opportunity. There is a story here, and it's one I'm particularly enjoying because I'm in the lead. That doesn't happen. That hasn't happened previous seasons. So we're off. Where are we? We're about 10 minutes into the 30-minute lap so far. 30-minute race so far. Yep. And managing to hold our own against the Saxo at this point in time, but you can see it's pretty bloody close. There's probably a second or two in, and the MX5 that we're in here is quicker in some spots of the track, quicker in the twisties, particularly the bits that are coming up now. Turn 2 right, turn 3 left flick, comes the up and over. Which is really good fun, by the way. It's blind over that crest because it sits so low in the car, so you kind of guess where you are. And then the Saxo is quicker when you give it a bit of straight to run it, and it's not that much slower. So what ends up, you end up doing very similar lap times, just with cars being quick or slower in different parts of the track, and that makes it super exciting. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm going like a bat out of hell, using every trick in the book to try and break the cycle of the Saxo being the catch-up on the straight. When the BMW came past, I was straight onto that, trying to grab a toe. The MX5s, while they're low and they look slippery, they have not got a particularly great drag coefficient. So safety car's going out. This is one of the great things about OKCup. So every driver is given a radio. It is a one-way radio. You listen, and the clerk of the course or the people running the race can call everyone to a virtual safety car, and it just saves you coming in, and it increases the amount of lap time you have, the amount of race time you have. All the cars on track can be put under control. And look at that, we can see that the tyres have gone a bit cold, just cruising around behind the safety car for a couple of, or in the safety car for a couple of laps, and I was trying a bit hard there, admittedly, which has let Hugh catch up with me. I think we get the same thing here. Just trying a bit hard here, and he is on my tail, so he's definitely back in touching distance. There's a warning on screen. This is something that popped up that I'm going to put it down to a racing incident. I'm not really sure what happened here. So that white line is the white line that you do not cross because it marks the pit entrance. At the end of that white line, if you look on the left, there's a bloody solid wall. So Hugh dived up the inside. I didn't realise how much speed he had on me, and before you know it, he was on the inside. My line is to hug that. My racing line is to follow that white line up around the bend. So there was a bit of a whoopsie there from a chap called James, who's in his first season, just sitting in the kitty litter. But yeah, so bit of a fright for myself and Hugh, I think, just there. But no damage done, and hopefully no harm. But you can tell how close we are. It is all on like Donkey Kong. Michael gets a great exit from that corner. He's on me. He's definitely in the toe there, but I think he must have missed a gear or something, or the changing ratios using the 5-speed gearbox is just a little too tall for the 1.6 to keep accelerating as hard as this 1800 with a 6-speed. But you can see he is giving that the beans. He's trying proper hard, and that's the great thing about this race series. With it having its origins in 2KCup land, there's plenty of drivers out there that have been doing it for plenty of years, and that means there's plenty of experience and skill, and there's lots of trust on the circuit. It's a great place for new drivers to come on, because you get taught by guys that have been doing it for a while. You know, no one wants to not take a nice race car home, and we'll keep it as clean as is reasonably possible, considering this is a competitive sport. But I just take my hat off to Mikey. He's trying to. Let's call this segment of the video the Michael Forrest Show. I think he deserves it, and I'll shut up. Daisy. Trying a little bit roll there, I think. Keep missing the apex. I don't think it's super vital to clip that apex every time it's clean, but I don't think it's super vital. I think there are other ways around it. Hear the MX5 of Mike Forrest now. That deep kind of verbal, you can hear the gear he's in compared to mine. There we go. I do believe that's the Honda behind us in the class above of Andrew Prins and Greg Larson, the red car with the white bonnet in the background there, who's bearing down on us, I think. Wow, hold it, Michael. Good job. coming up on 2/3 of the way through this race now. That's the great thing about this series, the 33-minute races. You actually get so much consistent seat time, like not stop start. Combine that with the safety cars, you're in the car a lot, and it means that, and I'm not sure if any other series offers this apart from the longer duration series, the endurance events, proper endurance events. But this kind of, it's not really an endurance event, it's not really a sprint, it's somewhere in the middle, half an hour. And we're doing about 24 laps, whereas a sprint event is something along the lines of 10 or 12 laps at Hampton Downs, I believe. But it means you get to experience the car throughout the whole, all of its kind of dynamic moments, if you know what I mean. You get to manage the brakes, you get to manage the engine. Probably the most obvious thing to manage is the tyres. It's quite easy to overdrive the car because half an hour, you know, your energy levels are up, your attention's definitely focused, and you can tend to overdrive the car. And you can, depending on what tyres you've got, they all kind of perform differently, but all of them are possible to get overheated. So I think what's happening here is I am trying so hard to overtake that little Citroen Saxo again. I know he's just in front of me at the moment. That I'm actually overdriving. I think I heat the tyres a little bit much. It looks like maybe mine was doing the same there, maybe. But that's one of the great things about this kind of duration of race. We get to sit back, we get to have lots of seat time, lots of experience, lots of practice driving the circuit, lots of practice driving the car, because most of these cars, while they are road registered still, and a lot of them actually drive to the circuit. I know the Saxo of Hugh Paris, he drives his to the circuit and drives it home again. I don't. I stick on the trailer thanks to awesome observed vehicles, and you get to actually practice driving the car. Which might sound a bit silly, it's just a car, but you get to understand its foibles and where it's good, where it's bad, what the noises mean, etc. So yeah, I love this length of race. And the last race of the season, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it this season. Stand to be corrected there, but they combined the 2 half-hour races into 1 hour-long endurance race with a mandatory pit stop. And a stationary, I think you've got to be stationary for a minute, 2 minutes or something like that. There's some stopwatch watching you. And yeah, so it resembles a proper endurance race. So all good fun. And of course we're racing for a chocolate fish. There ain't nothing else to it. Chocolate fish, maybe a yellow baseball cap, and a medal. The OKCup boys have gone all out to provide a little bit of bling for our efforts this year round, which is fantastic. Something to stick on the mantelpiece for all your children with. So it's at this phase of the race where you just kind of you're settled in, you're doing it, you're trying to keep your concentration because it can wander, and you are looking for consistency. You're trying to nail your braking points, you're trying to nail your turn-in points, you're trying to not get caught up in traffic, and you're trying to be the best you can be and not get too flustered, which is not always that easy. So I think I mentioned it earlier, we're allowed to change the springs on this car. So the springs on the front of my Mazda are teen springs. They're just a lowered road sport spring. We're not allowed to change the shocks, they've got to be OEM. So the Mazda NVRS comes with Bilsteins, but this car's done over 238,000 Ks on the clock, so and these are the original shocks, so I suspect they're in a expected condition. But the springs on the back are I don't know what brand they are, they're just some red coil spring. They feel like they're a bit softer than the teens. I've got another set of teens downstairs, which I'll just need to go on to test it. We're coming up to the hairpin now, and last time we were out, I felt like I was having trouble getting the rear of the car to rotate. It was just too secure, too safe, and that's off the back of an alignment that we had done where you set the toe in on the rear, and if you imagine both rear wheels are kind of slightly pointing in, it makes the car very stable. If they were pointing out, then one wheel with the most grip will come on the car, will track in that direction. And both pointing in the middle makes it quite stable. And I actually think combined with the soft springs, I actually think it's a little bit too stable. We could probably find a little bit more speed, a little bit more manoeuvrability if we just reduce the amount of toe in. So next time we get it aligned, that's what the instructions will be to the chap with the gauge. For the minute, I can't complain, it's going alright. It looks like coming towards the end of the race, Mike's buttoned off a wee bit. We've managed to break that kind of connection that we had there. I know for damn sure that the VTS is in front of me, and I'm trying my damnedest to get past it. Let's see how we go. I think Hugh's got it nailed though. Yeah, so that little puff of smoke was a bit weird. That's how we finished up. Hugh Paris got it with the best lap, 1:23.4. I came in second with 1:23.3. Mike Forrester, 23.5, came in third. That's the graph on the left. That's how close our lap times were. The big spike was the safety car. But you can see how close we were. On the right there, I've got the lap times from all three of our front three. Pause the video if you like, go and have a look. Consistency is outstanding from everyone. Really close racing. I bloody love this stuff. It's great. And to be out there on the track with a couple of guys that clearly know what they're doing is just brilliant, just superb. So we're back in the pits. Lunchtime is round the corner. I think we had a 2.5 hour break between races, but we'll cut through all of that and we'll get out there quite quickly. So yeah, those lap times, pretty pleased with that. Pretty consistent. Fastest lap was on lap number 18. 1:23.483, I think that says. Yeah, it was good. It was good. And as always, when you're back in the paddock, we all park in the same area of the paddock. We have the conversations about what happened out on track and who did what to who and how and why and when and where and oh my god, should it have happened? Whose fault was it? Whose fault wasn't it? Was it great? Was it good? Etc. etc. What a hoot. Loved it. Fantastic. Right, so race 2 is reverse grid by class. So bottom of that piece of paper on the right hand side. That's me. Starting 9th, rest of the grid in front. Now I got the fastest lap in race 1, so it puts me at the back of the grid for race 2. This is the formation lap on the way to the grid, and just giving the car a bit of a shake. I had a bit of a steering issue on the first race. I'd come out of some corners and the steering wheel wasn't quite straight, and same through other corners. So this video, that's my daughter, that's Sophie, and I just want to say a big thank you to Sophie. You are a superstar pit helper. She was in control of the cameras, she was in control of the battery and the boot, she's in control of the kill switch button, which I've wired up wrong because it's on a unswitched live, permanent live, not switched live. Anyway, she does a lot for me. It's really hard to do this if you're on your own. There's plenty of people around to help, but you want your own people there really to make sure you get everything done, because everything happens in a bit of a flurry when it all kicks off. Thank you, Sophie. Right, let's get round to that. Let's get round to that grid, and you can see there I've just dropped some people that help me do what I do. I'm in a thankful mood. Wilson Wholesale Cars Limited. Ollie, you're a superstar. He helps me out in numerous ways. Probably the main way is the trailer that we get to take the car on. SAS Auto Parts, outstanding. Cody over there, he's helped me out with numerous bits and pieces, various projects. Thank you very much, Cody. And Unique Displays in the middle there. Those guys helped me out with all the graphics on the car, and good banter as well. Sean and Simon, and we're just about to go. Last shout out to Napa Auto Parts for some bits and pieces there. Right, $4,000, looking for the flag drop. We're away. So our group goes first. There's a 10-second gap. There's another flag drop for the group behind. All I'm thinking about now is that Saxo. I was so close in race 1 to that Saxo. I'm sure we can get it. Go past that little Pulsar of James's, and that's the other NBRS. That car in front, that gold Mazda there, that's the same spec as mine. Mine looks like that, but beige. Mine's NHS hearing aid beige. Just Marcus is out for the first time for a long time, and we'll see at the end. His lap times bang on it. He was good. Look forward to next race with Marcus. I know he's going to step up and become a challenge, so I need to make hay while the sun shines. This MR2 looks beautiful. I love those golf racing colours. And it's quick too. I'd be interested to have going an MR2 with a mid-engine as opposed to the MX5 with a more traditional layout. Be interesting, but as I said before, all I'm thinking about is that red Citroen and that little blue Peugeot. So let's see if we can grab a tow off the MR2 up the hill. That 2-litre donkey in the back of that does definitely put it down on the road, and gaps the little MX5, the asthmatic MX5. This is the part of the track where the Mazda's just super special. Well, I think so. So at this point in time, I'm thinking that the Peugeot and the Citroen are working together. The Peugeot's gone defensive on me already, and the Citroen's in here. Look at this Peugeot go, he just gaps me. Sort of. So, time to get the elbows out. Try as hard as I can. Again, Peugeot's just got the legs. So we'll see if we can grab a tow off the back of the pug. A bit quicker mid-corner than he is, but as soon as you come out the corner, he's away. So are we close enough to grab a tow? I suspect there's something positive going on, but it might also turn negative right about kind of now, I suppose. But we know, I think we're a bit quicker around turn 1, the fast corner, because we've got a lower centre of gravity and rear wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive. Look at us rail him in, fantastic. Now he's gone defensive again, so I have to try something different. Outside of turn 2, front squealing, doesn't like it. We just managed to hold him off over the crest. That's fantastic news. Now it is all on. Let's go get Hugh. Now this is a reverse grid race, so just remember there's not only us lot in this race. There's about 25 other cars which are just behind us, all going as hard as they can to try and overtake Hugh, who's now in first place, and me, who's in second place of this race, before the 33 minutes is up. So they're coming strong, and there's some quick cars in there doing 1 minute 20, I think was the fastest from quali. And it's typical for the BMWs to kind of gang up, a bit like a Panzer tank division, and swarm the rest of the grid, and end up taking the trophy. So right now I'm having a good day, and I am just in the zone, trying to deliver fault-free laps and be precise with everything I'm doing. I need to rein in Hugh. He's proven how quick his car can be. Got a feeling that he's just coming to me a wee bit. I can do a quicker lap than he's been able to do. Let's see if that turns into quicker race laps. So I just want to put a shout out while we're waiting to catch up with Hugh here. I'm just put a shout out to Danny DC2. up in the UK, Dan, I'm a fan of yours. We've had brief chats on your YouTube channel before. I love what you do, mate, and I've totally stolen your idea of placing the rear view camera at the top of the screen there. I don't know if you came up with that. Doesn't matter, claim it. And I'm ripping you off, mate. I hope that's alright. You're an inspiration, buddy. I watch your content regularly. I'm not a Patreon because I pour my money into my racing. But keep going hard. I know you're looking for what the goal is. I'm pretty sure the goal is to realise that how well you're doing and enjoy it, buddy. Not everyone gets to play with these things. Not everyone gets to do what we do. Enjoy it. Doing these laps, I remember feeling that I was slowly managing to reel him in. And if I can just maintain that, level. Here we go. It's getting closer. So the gearbox in this Mazda's done 238,000 kilometres as well. As I said, it's the 6-speed. It's doing all right. It does have a problem shifting every now and again. I've got when I built the car, I put new engine mounts in. Because that can affect the gear change, the way everything's kind of hung together or hung under the car. I do have trouble changing into 5th, between 4th and 5th, both up and down. So you have to nanner it a wee bit, and every now and again we miss 3rd, but I'm not sure if the missing 3rd is just hell, you know, you even miss 3rd every now and again when you're trying hard. But look how much room we catch up on Hugh through that corner. Just that understeery front wheel drive kind of dynamic just doesn't work into that turn 2. He's gone defensive though, he's shown his belly. Let's have a crack. This is about how close we were for the entirety of race 1. I can't believe the front camera shot it. There you go. There we go, we're on him. Does he go defensive at the end of here? I think he might. He's confident, he's got legs on me. But here we go, we can see the Mazda's all over him mid-corner. Am I close enough to get a toe? And he just pulls away, look at that. So we're not quite, but we're approaching half race distance around about now. Now I know those faster boys are coming, eh? They are coming. I can smell them. All their VTECs and their German engineering. Wow, up the inside of thank you, Hugh. That was decent. He let me in then. He went defensive, but didn't shut the door. So now I've got to go defensive. He's up the outside of me. Now I thought he was going to nail me here, but I guess we just both got a little bit hot on the brakes and ignored the apex of that one for that overtake by that corner. Now it's on. I don't think I've had a race where I've been as hyped throughout the entire race as this one. At the moment I'm thinking there's an opportunity of a podium. And I don't want to get caught up with Hugh. I'm having a great battle with Hugh. Here he comes. He just hasn't got it through turn one. On the entry to turn one at least. So this is where I start bashing the curbs a little bit hard. Looking to try and straight line some corners. The urgencies come in. As I'm hooking second gear for that. Hear the tyres rubbing. Oh, trying too hard, look at that. Trying to wring every last kilometre per hour out of this thing. Pretty sure I can see the quicker cars in the distance behind us. Yeah, hooking second, as I was saying before, hooking second into there, I was getting the rear wheels to lock. Just trying to slow the car down. Quickly enough, not slow it down to a lower speed, but just go from fast to slow quicker. And I must admit, when I tried leaning on the brakes a bit harder, we just locked up. So I think we're around about optimum there for my skill level at least. So about to overtake James. He's in his first season in his little Pulsar. Hope he sticks at it. I think he's having a good time. Whoa, watch out, buddy. He's spending a little bit of time in the kiddie litter, but that typically happens. If you're watching this, James, I'd do this year in that car, and then start saving your pennies. See if you can buy a car that's already done. It's probably your cheapest, quickest way to get some enjoyment in something that's a little bit quicker. It's a nice idea to invest and build your own car out, but other guys have already done it, and you can probably save yourself a lot of heartache and trouble. Just watch Danny. That's what Danny DC2 that I mentioned before, with his little, what's he got? Is it a Civic, a K24 in it? It goes like stick. He bought that and didn't build it, whereas he's got an MR2 Roadster, MRS or whatever they're called, which I think he built himself. So yeah, stick at it, James. Save up your pocket money, mate, and buy yourself an already done one for next season. So I think we've broken the toe of Hugh here. We're ripping away. We've got around about, what's that, 10 minutes of the race left? Maybe, yeah, just over 10 minutes of the race left. So we're 2/3 of the way in. And I remember thinking I've just got to keep stringing them together, because those quick boys are going to be on us any moment. So as I said on the previous race, this is the moment of the race where you're just in the zone. You're trying to clip every turn in, every braking point, every gear change. You're becoming hyper aware of the state of the tyres, hyper aware of the state of the brakes. You can feel whether the tyres are just on the edge or just, you start to cook everything a little bit too hard. We are just about right at the moment. There is a moment a little bit later where we start pushing extra hard and we just go beyond that kind of window where the tyres are operating properly. We'll see that, and I'll call it out. We'll see some lock-ups, especially the front into here. Here we go, the back's just starting to go. Everything's getting really hot. This is probably maximum temperatures everything's in now. One thing you are allowed to do in this series is thinking about the car and just making the car a little more robust. So I am running a larger radiator in this car. It's an alloy Phoenix radiator, but standard configuration is just an extra row or two depth to it, whatever radiators have. And I've got to be honest, the temperature gauge does not go above centre, even though you've probably been able to see this car runs, I think it red lines at 7.5, so we're running between 5 and 7.5 for half an hour up and down the rev range. The temperature's bang on. So top tip, if you're allowed to in a race series or doing what you do in your car, just think about the size of the cooling system. It really helps. It just makes the car a little bit more robust. Ooh, big whoopsie there. Did it again. So you'll see behind us is no longer Hugh in the red Citroen. We've now got a Toyota. I'm no good with these Japanese spec Toyotas. I think there's a Toyota VIN 2 litre. Is it silver top or is it black top? I can't remember. But he's coming at me pretty hard and fast. We are racing, even though he's in a different class. We are racing, so there's no making it easy. Being the rear-wheel drive Mazda, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of spots on the track where I can at least hold my own. Sweeper at the bottom of the hill, but needs extra power. I guess the BP engine in the Mazda is just showing its age from a design perspective, rumoured to mimic the design of the Lotus Twin Cam from back in the day. It's plenty reliable and tough, but she does just run out a little bit of puff. But as I said, let's not make it easy for this dude. We're on the twisters, which is where the Mazda's best. We can just hold off that front wheel drive challenge. that missed gear puts pay to the defence. It's crazy how such a small thing can just hand the momentum to the other car. We can get him back on the corner, but he's close enough now. We know that up the straight he's got it, and he'll just power away. So the opportunity becomes the toe. What can we gain from these guys? Let's tuck in nice and close and see if we can get sucked along, which we can, but we've got that fifth gear problem just happened there. There you go. So fourth to fifth, if you don't nano the gear change, she just locks up on you. So I had to hook sixth there for a while, back down into fourth for turn one, and we're off again. Been around for a few seasons though, this one, on and off, I believe. So probably one of the quickest cars in the field. Three quickest cars in the field have just passed me, but they know there's a bunch of BMWs heading their way, so they have also got the pedal down. So what should I do? Should I just button it off and cruise home, or should we keep playing? Keep trying? Well, what would you do? Back of my head, I'm still going to sniff the podium, which would be outstanding. One of these guys needs to break a CV joint or have a whoopsie, and then we're in with a show. So tell you what, let's keep pushing. Let's push as hard as we bloody can. Might as well. Someone that I haven't mentioned, that I do need to put a big thank you out there for while we're just closing in on the final laps of this race, is Paul from Fern Rentals in Wairau Park here in Auckland. Without Paul's help, this car wouldn't be on the track. He's played with plenty of MX5s, he's played with plenty of race cars, he's played with plenty of race car MX5s, and I was fortunate enough to be able to find some time on his hoist pre-season just to fix a cock-up that I'd made with a CV boot, which turned into a new drive shaft. So yeah, thanks Paul if you get to watch this. If you do watch this, that's not forgotten. I haven't seen you for a while, but much appreciated. So we've got a little Nissan Pulsar coming up behind us. I think these are a 2 litre. Is it the SR20 that's in the Pulsar? I'm not 100%. But boy, this thing goes like a stick. It's pretty average in the corners, especially the fast ones. But in a straight line, it goes like stink. Which doesn't work for us in a lap or two, so just keep an eye on how this materialises. Coming on the back of a slower Integra. That's that pulsar. Watch him go. Then watch him slow. Oh my goodness. Wasn't ready for that. Come on, buddy. Which lets the BMW sneak up. Sure, I could have held that BMW off for at least another half a lap if the little pulsar hadn't slowed up her progress there, but that's what happens. See behind us, we've got another two cars coming down on us, so I think there's a Honda Accord. Is he running a K24, maybe a K20 Honda Accord, and then behind him we've got the BMW, another one of the Panzer Squadron. This thing's just going to whistle past. Watch this thing go. Not quite like I'm standing still, but not far from it. So let's grab a bit of a lift, and I distinctly remember stepping into the back of his slipstream and feeling the little MX5 go whoof, and gather about 5 or 10 kph just on the spot there. Really good feeling. Wish I had it all the time. So let's just get down the inside of this fella, see if we can stay on this pack. To drag us round a bit. Don't like the idea of losing another position to that silver BMW. So bearing in mind we were leading the race, we're now down to, I don't know, 6 spots, something along those lines. So dreams of a podium finish have evaporated away, but we're still leading the class with it's the moment where clearly my tyres are getting too hot and I'm trying a bit too hard. But we're still leading the class with Hugh having kind of slipped off the pace a wee bit. I think there must be car trouble there. First race we were so close, I'm surprised he's not pushing me around at the moment. Vice versa. But here comes the BMW. Just got more grunt. So we'll see if I can grab a bit of a slipstream up the hill again. MX5 takes off. Look how early we changed into 5th, way before the start of the pit wall, and that's off the back of that BMW giving us a lift. So it's good. closing stages of this race now. If you've got this far, thank you very much for staying tuned. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you a bit of insight into what happens at Clubman's level motorsport. It might be Clubman's level, but I can assure you it is all on. Everyone is trying their hardest and growing day by day. So the last lap board is out. All I've got to do is hang it together, and then I see that red BMW behind. I don't want to give up another spot, just from a principle point of view. So fortunately, it looks like the BMW is deciding that it's the end of the race as well, and he's going to coast around. Maybe not coast, but maybe not attack quite so hard. And then I think we see him get a wobble on or two a couple of times here. As long as he stays behind me, I am happy. But at this point in time, I think he's going to take me down this straight. But he fluffs up the exit to the hairpin, and that just buys me enough time. Rubbing. It sounds like I should probably get under the car and check it out while it's in the drive for the next race, which is the end of November, back here at Hampton Downs. And then we have a summer break, and then we're off to Manfield, which is a third of the way, maybe half the way down the North Island, and that's it. We're across the finish line. And Manfield's a great track. I've raced there once before. Lots of squiggly bits in the middle and a big long bit down the outside, so it'll be interesting how the MX5 shapes up there. So we're across the finish line, it's all done. There's the race results for you. Rodin did a 1:20.4, he was flying. Ben McDonald, Callum Pratt, Jesse Reed, Ed Fee, Tony Hansen, Jamie Hansen, then me in 8th, Mike Jameson in the red BMW behind, Dean Jones in a Altezza. Hugh Parris came in 12th. Excuse the language, super happy. Simon Rollinson at the blue Peugeot. Marcus Little in the gold MX5. He's going to get quicker and quicker. I just know he is. I did a 23.1. What did Marcus do? He did a 23.2. So only a tenth off. There's the most important class on the track. As I said there, it was full on. Great racing from everyone. Really enjoyed myself. Absolute flat tack. Good times. Good times. Ken Tyler, that's the chap in the golf-coloured MR2. Yeah, I think he's next pilot or something, and he's having a great time. Good on him for coming out. This chart is really cool. It tells you the story. I've highlighted myself in red there, obviously. It's my video, so I get to do that. And you can see that, how he rose up through the positions. Held on from lap 9 to lap 16. So what's that? 7 laps in the lead. And then the quicker boys came through. So that green line is Ben McDonald. He was the first one to show up and push his way through fairly. And there you go. So the top 3 in our little group, myself, Hugh and Mike, you can see how close and consistent our lap times were. All about consistency, as the graph at the top alludes to. But great times indeed. And that's Sophie. Good on her for helping out, and she's taken some extra shots and videos and bits and pieces. I'll try and stitch those in. Should have given her a lift back to the paddock, really. There you go. That concludes the racing from the 28th of October 2023 in round 3, series 1 of the OKCup at Hampton Downs. A good time was had by most people, I do believe. Do need to check those brakes. Just listen to these brakes. I think we might have a bit of a metal on metal issue there. I knew the pads were getting low, but turns out the bonnet pin broke and the other side of the bonnet pin broke. So there you go. That's it. It's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Good on you. Go and get out there. Give it a go.